Here is your complete Lower Blackrock Spire stealth farming guide. I'll show you how to find and kill the rare spawn Banok Grimax for the Reaper plans, as well as Firebrand Invokers and Pyromancers for the robe pattern and the recipe. Each of these will sell for hundreds of gold at the beginning of this phase. As of this recording, the Arcanite Reaper has been data mined as an epic with modified stats, meaning the recipe will now either craft an epic, remain the same with an epic upgrade through some other means, or be removed from the dungeon entirely, becoming obtainable in some other way. Hopefully, for our sakes, it won't be the latter. Banok has 3 spawn points, and this is the first. There are also 3 patrols you need to mark. Here I've marked them with triangle, moon, and square. When you pull Banok, he will pull this 4-pack beside him. Make sure that you sap the Invoker. He does a lot of fire damage that we can't mitigate. The Darkweaver doesn't do that much, and the other mobs are melee. Be mindful of the pathing of the patrols. You can use Distract to control these to your benefit and give yourself maximum uptime on your kill phase. Now that the patrols have moved away, we can sap the Invoker, move to the corner, and pull Banok with our ranged weapon. Use Evasion, Blade Flurry, Mutilates, and Envenoms. When your evasion runs out, make sure to cast Preparation and Evasion again. The only consumables I have used in this farm have been Major Healing Potions and Thistle Tea. I have level 50 Sunken Temple Daggers and the Dark Mantle set. You can use extra if you find it difficult. As soon as you kill him, cast Vanish. Further down the same hallway, you will find Banok's second spawn point. There are no adds. Simply shadow step behind him, tuck yourself into the corner, and kill him. If you thought that things couldn't get any easier, the third location is further up the same hallway, which is the way that you have to come anyway, to kill the Pyromancers and Invokers for the recipe Greater Fire Protection Potion and the pattern Robe of the Archmage. Simply spam the macro that I leave in the video description /target Banok on your way, and you'll be able to pick him up anytime you do this farm, which you can do infinitely, as long as the runs take you 12 minutes or more, which they should. Here you can see that we loot the plans for the Arcanite Reaper, which will be pre-raid bis for many classes and highly sought after. It's not as easy to get as the recipe and the pattern that we're going to move on to farm. And here is his final spawn point. We use the same tactic as the first location. We mark the patrols, sap the Invoker, pull Banok, evasion, preparation, evasion, and vanish. If you keep an eye below my dagger icons, you'll see that the Darkweaver casts Curse of the Firebrand on me. It's a 5-minute debuff that causes 600 odd shadow damage every 60 seconds. When you're in the fight and you get this, you don't have to worry too much. It's going to take a full minute before it does any damage to you, and you're usually going to be out of combat at that stage. However, when you are out of combat, you will need to wait for this to despawn, as pulling mobs while you have this on is a recipe for disaster. Now that we've covered how to kill Banok Grimax in all of his locations, we will move on to the Pyromancers. Head for the corner, and you can either stealth through or shadow step behind the Dreadweaver. Sap him and hope that you don't come out of stealth. If you do, simply vanish. You can sap him again, and then make your way up that mound into the corner to pull the Pyromancer with your ranged weapon. In a previous video, I made the mistake of thinking that Dreadweavers could drop the Greater Fire Protection Potion, when in fact it is the Invokers that we were sapping earlier. The Pyromancers, however, can drop both the recipe and the pattern, so we only need to kill those. If you do have a lot of health left, and you feel confident, of course, kill the Darkweavers. You might get lucky with a green or a blue, or even an epic. You'll notice a chest in the corner. Be very careful. If you try to open that chest after you've killed the 2 mobs beside it, the mob from the 3-pack closest to the chest will aggro you and pull the rest. If you have improved sap, of course you should, you can sap him. As long as you're still in stealth, you can open the chest. But I would recommend waiting. What the pyromancers drop is worth vastly more than anything you're likely to find in the chest. You should focus on these first and take the chest as a bonus. Let it be your reward for a good pull well done. Moving on to the next pack, we're going to sap the melee mob, blind the Dreadweaver, and pull the pyromancer into the corner where the chest is. Burn him down and vanish. Those melee mobs hit like a truck. If they get pulled into the fight, you are not going to last for very long. You will learn to hate them, and you will learn to love sapping them. My favorite thing about instance farms like this is there is no competition, and as long as the runs take you 12 minutes or more, you can do them infinitely. You are free to learn, free to make as much gold as RNG allows you to. You can see here that I still have most of my health. I feel confident, and so I start on the Dreadweaver after I've killed the pyromancer, always checking to see if my melee mob is still in sap. Make sure that you have pooled energy and combo points ready to stun, because they will run away and the margin for error here is very, very small. Those mobs aggro from very far away, and you will learn this the hard way. I guarantee it. For the final pack, we use the same strategy as the last. Sap, blind, and burn him down. You'll notice that my improved sap failed me again. Always make sure you have vanish at the ready before you pull. Most of the talents are self-explanatory, but this farm wouldn't be possible without improved sap and preparation, so you must have them. One other notable talent is Riposte in the combat tree. It's incredibly cheap, it disarms your target, and it mitigates a lot of incoming damage. Conveniently, you can macro this to your Mutilate, and I will leave that in the video description. If you made it this far, you have my sincere gratitude. Thank you. I have more secrets coming soon.